Hi everyone and welcome! My name is Demi and today I'm going to show you how to make these wonderful Christmas cupcakes. These gingerbread cupcakes are spicy and sweet and they go beautifully with a cream cheese topping. So if you're looking for the perfect Christmas treat, keep on watching! 2 remarks before we get started. The first one being I'm only going to make 6 cupcakes today, so not 12. But I will tell you the quantities as if I was making 12. So if you just listen to what I say, you should be fine. Also, the quantities will be mentioned on the screen in cups and in grams, as well as in the description box down below. And the quantities will be for 12 cupcakes. So either way, you're going to be fine. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is preheat our ovens to 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Once we've got our oven preheating, we're going to mix our ingredients together and make our cupcakes. So we're going to start with our butter, and you are going to add 125 grams of room temperature unsalted butter. Now, when I say room temperature, I mean slightly soft butter. And I'm saying this because right now in the Netherlands, it's really quite cold. And if I leave my butter outside of the fridge, which I always do when I'm going to make these kinds of things, it just doesn't cut it because the butter remains quite hard. So what I actually do is I put the butter next to the oven while it's preheating, so it actually softens a bit. So you can see if I push it now, you have dents in it, right? But before, when I left it outside of the fridge and it was in the room, it actually didn't get those dents. So you really want to make sure that your butter is soft enough that if you put your finger on it, that it dense and you don't have to press a lot, and it's actually just quite soft. But once your butter is soft to the touch, you're going to add this to your bowl, like so. That was easy. And then we're going to add our sugar. So you are going to add the same amount, which is 125 grams of sugar to the bowl. Then we add self-rising flour. Over here I've got again the same amount of 125 grams. So you're going to pop that in. You're going to add 2 eggs. And then we're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and 2 teaspoons of gingerbread mix. Gingerbread mix is something I think you can buy. Over here in the Netherlands, we have something called koek- en speculaaskruiden, so that's what I use. But if you don't have it, you can make it yourself. You can add 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon of cloves, 1/2 teaspoon of ginger, and 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Some recipes also mention allspice. That's not in this mix, and I still find that this is the perfect gingerbread cupcake to me. But feel free to add some allspice, 1/2 teaspoon max as well if you wish. But in here I have my gingerbread mix, my salt, and my baking soda, and I'm going to just toss that in there. And now we're going to mix this for about a minute at a medium speed. You don't want to mix it for much longer or shorter, because that'll affect the cupcakes. And I just want to say one thing, because I heard from one of my friends actually that she thought she couldn't make my recipe because she didn't have a standing mixer. And I tried to make sure to say this every time, but I might forget. But please never feel like you need this. It's not necessary. You can just use a hand mixer, you know, one of those things that you put the whisks in yourself, or even a hand whisk, like a normal whisk. You never need this for my recipes, at least not until now. If you ever specifically need a stand mixer, I don't know what for, but if you ever need that, I will tell you. I just like showing it off. I'm very proud of it. I love that I have this. It looks beautiful, but you never need this. So please know that a hand mixer at any point will be enough. Anyway, we're going to put this in, and I am, like I said, going to mix it for about a minute at a medium speed. After a minute, you already have a really nice mixture, but we're going to add 2 more things. So you're going to add a tablespoon and a half of milk, and I have over here about a 1/4 teaspoon to 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So we're gonna put that in, and we're gonna mix this mixture one more time for about 20 to 30 seconds. All right, that's it. Now we've got a cupcake mixture, so that was quite easy. It's basically just a vanilla cupcake with some extra spices, but that's what makes it so delicious, because the classical, or the classic, I guess, vanilla cupcake is also delicious. So I'm just going to quickly take this off there because I know it will fall. Get this out of there. All right, so once we're done, we're going to get our cupcake forms over here. And I'm just going to give this a quick mix just so that I make sure that everything is incorporated. Now I'm going to put the mixture in our cupcake form. So I have an ice cream scoop. You don't need it. You can just use 2 spoons or whatever you like to use to put this in there. But I'm just going to use this and just put it in like so. That's actually quite a lot already, so I'm going to take a bit out. You just kind of want to fill them halfway. That's enough for this recipe. So just like so. And the last one. Oh, keep spilling today. Wash my hands. Now I like to make sure that it's kind of evenly distributed, which I think it is, but I think some of the places could use a bit more. So I'm just going to scoop it in a little bit more. Like I said, halfway is enough. Half to 2/3 should be full. So yeah. Now we've got our cupcakes, and they look like this. They're perfect looking. And now we're going to put these in the oven, as I said, at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit. And we're going to put them in there for between 18 to 22 minutes. So what I like to do is I like to use a toothpick, which I stick in at 18 minutes. If it comes out clean, the cupcakes are done. Otherwise, I wait a minute, stick it in again until 22 minutes. Then they're actually always done. So yeah, anywhere between 18 to 22 minutes, and I'm going to clean this up a bit and then we'll get started on our cream cheese frosting. Okay, as you can see, I've cleaned up a little bit and I've put the ingredients down for our cream cheese frosting. And also the cupcakes are actually done, but they need to be completely cooled down before we can put the frosting on. As with any kind of buttercream or frosting, you always want your cupcakes to be completely cooled down because otherwise it will just melt right off your cupcake. I have been impatient several times in my life and it has never paid off. So please give yourself 20 to 30 minutes for the cupcakes to completely cool down. And in the meantime, we can make our cream cheese frosting. So you're going to add 125 grams of room temperature, can't say it often enough, unsalted butter. So with normal buttercream, you really want to mix it at least 5 to 10 minutes so it becomes really fluffy and airy. But for cream cheese frosting, it's a bit different. So all we're going to do right now is just mix it for about 2 to 3 minutes. Again, don't need the KitchenAid, but just make sure to mix it for 2 or 3 minutes on a medium speed. So we're going to do that. Okay, so after about 2.5 minutes, it's already a bit wider, it's already a bit fluffier. We don't need it to be completely volumized. We're just going for a nice creamy look, which we've got over here. So next we're going to add our cream cheese. Same as the butter, I cannot say this often enough. It has to be room temperature. If it is not, it will not mix properly and you will get a very clumpy kind of texture, which you don't want. So I've got here room temperature cream cheese, and you're going to add 200 grams of that. So 200 grams of cream cheese going in the what's the thing called? What's it called? Bowl. So we're putting 200 grams of cream cheese in the bowl, and we are going to mix this for 1 or 2 minutes just to make sure that everything is completely incorporated and mixed. Okay. Oh, again, we're going to mix this on a medium speed. Okay, 2 minutes later, we've got a nice cream cheesy mixture, which looks sort of like this. I will show it to you. It's a lot wider because of the cream cheese. Right now, we still need to add sugar, so that's what we're going to do last. And you're going to add 360 grams of it, and I've sifted, and I really recommend you do that just because it really helps to avoid any clumps. You're probably going to take 2 or 3 turns to do that, just because you don't want to make it too powdery, as you can see. So I'm going to do half, and I'm going to mix this until it's incorporated, so that could be about a minute and a half, and then you're adding the rest in stages until everything's completely combined. So we're going to do that. Again, medium speed. First, start softly. And when everything is more mixed, you can up the speed. And when everything is incorporated, you can just add the next piece. You can just add the rest of the powdered sugar. Again, you might want to do it in stages of 2 or 3. I'm gonna grab you right here because you were gonna fall. I saw it. Because I'm only making half, I think this is enough, but you definitely probably want to do it in 3 stages, I think. So put it back in, put it back down, and again, start on slow speed. One minute later, we've got a really nice cream cheese frosting, which we're gonna all put in the bowl. Because again, this will fall off. I know it will. Just take this buddy off, put it over there. And I'm just going to mix everything with my spatula just for a second, just to make sure that everything is incorporated. And there you have your cream cheese frosting. I'll show it to you. This is what it looks like. It's very soft, it's very fluffy. It's a lot softer than normal buttercream, so it's a bit harder to decorate with properly. Like with buttercream, you can make really nice things, flowers and such. I don't think that cream cheese frosting is the best thing to do that with, but that's okay because we're not going to do that today. I'm going to put this in a piping bag, which I've got over here. As always, this is just a Starbucks travel cup, and I like to put my piping bag in there, just so you can fold it around the edges. And you can avoid a little bit to get the edges of the bag dirty. Okay, and I'm just gonna scoop this in here. Gonna scoop. Okay, so once we've got our cream cheese filling in a bag, which by the way, I'm using a pretty big round open tip. You can see it a little bit over here. It's just a round open tip. But I'm going to put this in the fridge for about 5 to 10 minutes just so it can harden up a little bit. It doesn't need to do that a lot. We could put it on like this, but like I said, it's quite soft and we have to wait another 5 or 10 minutes for the cupcakes to cool down anyway. So it's nice to have a bit of a sturdier frosting. So I'm gonna put this in the fridge. I'm gonna wait 5 to 10 minutes and then we can decorate our cupcakes. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes and our cupcakes have completely cooled down. Oh, they smell amazing. I know they look like normal cupcakes, and they are obviously, and they might look a little bit browner, but yeah, this cupcake smells like spices and Christmas and just everything you could want, and they're absolutely perfect already. As I said, our cream cheese frosting has been in the fridge for the same amount of time, so about 5 to 10 minutes, and it's not gotten a lot sturdier, but enough for us to pipe it on, and that's what we're going to do. If you don't have piping tips, it's okay, just use whatever you want, just spoons, or put this in a bowl and put that in there, swirl it through it. You can do whatever you want. A piping tip and a piping bag as the KitchenAid, it's not necessary to make delicious, nice looking cupcakes, but I've got it, so I'm going to use it. So I'm just going to take a cupcake and I'm just going to put on a swirl. So you're just going to put some pressure with one hand and hold it with the other, and I'm just going to swirl it. Like that. Isn't that a nice looking cupcake already? It's a nice little tip and it smells amazing. So we're gonna do the rest. So our cupcakes are already really nice. You could eat them like this. You could eat them without the frosting, honestly, but you know, they look really beautiful like this already. But I am going to add one more thing, which is I'm going to sprinkle on top a little bit of the spices we actually added. So if you have gingerbread spices, you can put those on top. You can put cinnamon. I'm using the mix for cook and speculaas, which I talked about is what I had, which was a mix of ginger, cinnamon, cloves, and what was the other thing? Nutmeg. Nutmeg. But anyway, I'm going to put this on top, and I'm just, like I said, you can use cinnamon or any kind of spice. I wouldn't necessarily just do ginger, I think I would then do cinnamon. I'm going to use a sieve. I don't have a small sieve. I should get one at some point, but I'm just going to toss this in there and I'm going to sieve it so it doesn't all plop on top, but you could also just do it like this if you want it. I like to use a sieve and we're gonna see how it goes. Okay, so our cupcakes are done. I'm so excited to try one. I already know what they taste like because I've made them so many times, but it's still good to know if they still taste the same. They're still delicious. I'm sure they will be. So I'm going to unwrap this buddy. So this is what it looks like. That's what we got. And I'm going to eat one now. I know I say this every time. This is so good. It's so delicious. It's like a little bit tart because of the cream cheese, but it's just so delicious together with the gingerbread. This cupcake is everything. I swear, if you want to make something that's relatively simple and absolutely delicious for Christmas to impress your friends or your family or anybody, I would just make this. It's so good. Let me know if you make this recipe. Let me know what you thought of it. Please share this video, like, subscribe, send it to your friends and family so they can also enjoy this delicious Christmas cupcake. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I wish you a happy Christmas. Despite the circumstances right now, I hope you can celebrate it one way or another with your friends or your loved ones or your family. And I hope to see you guys soon. Okay, bye.